Morning, afternoon, evening, friends. Hello, Dub Rock. Hello, Frog Jim. Check this fucking bad thing out that I just observed that I hadn't noticed before. This fucking leg bit right here, I blobbed black and red all over that, and you can see it here, which is a problem. You can't see it from that angle though, but you can see it from here. I'm gonna have to fix that. Here, indeed. Good morning, everyone. What's happening? I hope you're all doing well. Let's get some colours out. Evening, Cliff. In response to your question, Frog Jim, I'm talking about the little bit below the baby, the leather bit on the left-hand side in the picture. The angle's down like that. Based on the light you've got on both heads, which is in the top left, that light should probably run down the left side a little bit more than it is. Mate, I couldn't give a shit about Kill Team. I could lie to you and say that I'm a massive Kill Team fan, but I just don't give a shit about Kill Team. Couldn't give two fucks about it. I find 40k to just be very boring at the moment. I'm in a bit of a pickle with this piece, friends. I feel like the stuff that I need to do is crucial, yet I don't really have any. G'day, Durstromo. That's a tricky question, Frog Jim. I don't know. You're the one who painted it, mate. You answer it. Yeah, it's just going to require a lot more work that I'm not sure I'm willing to do. G'day, Necromancer. What's going on? Anyway, let's see. Let's see how we go. Maybe I'll surprise myself. Can't see that happening though. Alright. This. G'day, Rapid Transit. What's going on, mate? So yeah, it's been a pretty ordinary week for me, friends. My work's been stressful. Just been an all round ordinary week. So I'm really looking forward to relaxing and doing some painting. I've been playing Kingdom Death and recording my campaign, which has been awesome. So if you ever wondered what Kingdom Death is like, g'day Ramascara. I do have the Roman soldier here, mate. Well, secretly, hidden away, I just uploaded episode 21. Before I release them to the public, though, I just like to make sure that I haven't missed any rules errors that I made. I'm a bit rusty on the game because I haven't played it in about 12 months, so there's one or two mistakes that I've made in those videos that I just want to make sure I've got comments on so people know that they're a fuck up. It's a hard game to keep track of everything when you've got so much information that you're trying to keep a track of, as well as checking to make sure that your camera's filming and everything. Gav was supposed to be there yesterday. He just sent me a message and said, I'm a peanut, I couldn't make it. And I was like, yeah, no shit, mate. I was here at my house. I know you weren't here. Oh yeah, he's a busy guy. All that netball. Look at this, I'm getting some paint peeling away. Huh. Alright, I'm going to need to varnish everything, I think. Alright, let's do something else then. Okay, I'm going to do this fabric stuff, the fabric softener. Going to go for a desaturated purple colour here. I'm just going to use my favourite colour, one of my favourite colours, Orchid Light. Orchid Light. Where are you, Orchid Light? Is that you there? It is. Gavin, he actually just sent me a message there, Gavin, literally in the last 5 minutes. What did you say, Gavin? Had a shocker yesterday. Huh. Alright, so we want to have a desaturated red purple colour down here, I think, before we move into a blue. I'm enjoying how this model's coming out, but all of the easy stuff, all the fun stuff's done now, and it's like I'm ready to pick up and move on to the next piece. So we're going to do some airbrushing of blue tones around here to fix this. This is my problem, Frog Jim. I'm just an impatient motherfucker. I'm sure I could do some really cool stuff if I wanted to spend more time than what I do. Indeed. I'm certain that it is worth persevering with, but it's a matter of whether I can. I feel like this was better when it was darker. I don't believe you anymore. I've seen your latest works. Haha, topless. What's going on, mate? Yeah, that's a good question. That is a great question. Beautiful. G'day, Snot Boogie. Well, it is a definite fact that I like this more when it was dark. clear. Yes, so my Kingdom Death video series, I'm well ahead of schedule in terms of the recording. I just need to review the footage to make sure that there's not any egregious errors. Been good fun. What are we going to paint tomorrow night, friends? What are we going to paint tomorrow night on Party Monday? It won't be this, I'll tell you that right now. I don't think so. The only Underworld's warband I've got left is the Beastman. This was the vote, mate. This was the vote. G'day, Net Diver. Second was the Morrigan from Journeyman Miniatures. Morrigan's also what I voted for. I'm allowed to vote. My fucking stream. I can do what I want. Party Morrigan Monday. I should almost do that because of that very amusing alliteration, but I don't think that we will. I like to alternate between bust and figure. Given that this is a figure, we should definitely do a bust. Or some more Kingdom Death models, which I need for my videos. Baby, they're tumbling down. You didn't even put up a fight. Didn't even make a sound. I think I'm going to do some Kingdom Death. It's been a while. Yeah. Yeah. I've got Echoes of Death and the 10th anniversary survivors that I would like to paint. Alright, I'm gonna do some of this bad boy. Weed out. Blue Spins, thank you for following. What do you mean the full hand treatment? The hand treatment? I'm confused. I've got Echoes of Death 1, 2 and 3 to paint, mate. I haven't painted any of them yet. Ah, oh, Flickstar! G'day, mate. What's going on, you superstar? Shout out, Flickstar. Boom. Big Denobot, thanks Flick. How good is he? Oh, Topless would like me to sing a song. What would you like me to sing, Topless? G'day, Lexi Bum. Flick looking after you this week? Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living. That's the only bit of the song I know. Working 9 to 5. Markapilts, Danger Song. Going right into the danger zone. Danger zone. You're a champion, mate. I am well. How are you? Yeah, it is cool. I haven't caught one of your streams in a long time, actually. I've been unable to get in sync with your timings, but you're my hero, mate. I hope you know that. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle, but Flick is the wind beneath my wings. How was your stream, champion? What have you been painting? What have you been working on recently, Flick? Oh, great. Gregory bought one of my models and it arrived at his house during the week. And he said to me in a private message, "That is the biggest waste of money I've ever spent. I can't believe how shithouse the paint job on this fucking model is." And I said, well, it's the price you pay. Oh, good one. AC's awesome painter. Oh, cool. Hey, when I did speed painting at Monty, Alfonso Giraldez, he made everyone swap models as well. It's awesome. Very tricky. Mistress Nevia, this model is from Mindworks Games and it is called Blood Temple. It's based on a piece of artwork by an artist named Patrick J. Jones. And it's quite magnificent, I have to say. Not my rendition of it, but the artwork and the model, quite magnificent. G'day Kung Fu. Very good. Lurk away. I shall continue painting. Cool, Robbies. Alright, so... Alright, now we're going to try this colour. It's called Athematic Blue. And we're gonna do a very glazy sort of dilute layer over some areas of the skin tone because it's going to create a colder thing to the skin tone. It's a very it's not as heavily pigmented as some of the other contrast paints, so you don't get quite as strong a response. War Mini Painting, thank you for the follow, mate. Yeah, Gav sent me a message this morning. Oh, hey mate, yeah, sorry, got messed up yesterday. Couldn't make it, pal. What a surprise, Gavin. What a fucking surprise. Hey, you want to know something exciting which has come up on me a bit unexpectedly? Queensland Model Hobby Expo is next weekend. And at the moment, it looks like it's going ahead. Everywhere else in Australia is burning with COVID, but my little town is okay for the moment. I've got 20 pieces to enter. G'day, Draxy. Yes. 20. Oh, awesome. I do like me some Ryan Reynolds. I can show you the 20 entries that I intend on entering if you would like. All right. Well, let's overview them on this stream. That sounds like a good use of time. Alright, I've got some of them here that I can show the figures, others I cannot. G'day, Plank. Alright. I'm going to show off the models that we're entering at Queensland Model Hobby Expo. Here we go. Alright, number one, you all know this one's coming, so that one's going. Alright, I don't need to show that again, but I'm going to let that play out while I prepare some of the other ones. I'll just get them all, probably. Back in that one. This is going to take a fucking while. Fuck me. What are you doing, Jack? What are you doing? You've made a terrible decision, mate. Fucking hell. Alright, hang on. I've got a few more. I'm just grabbing them all out. Alright, here we go. I don't know what I'm going to do to transport them yet. Alright, let's just start chronologically, I guess. So, this piece is called Avian, the Forest Witch. and it's from Massive Miniatures. So I'll be entering this chicky babe. Number 1. G'day, Jim. Number 2 is this Barbarian. It's the old Barbarian bust from Black Sun Miniatures. So I'll be entering him. We'll be entering Northern Wind, which I painted on stream. I'm just going to have to check my file to make sure that I've... Yep. We've got this, we're not going chronologically anymore, we've got this Crusader, which I painted on stream. Cool model. Came out okay. You're a wanker. Well, that's one of your best, Deno. We've just had some breakages. Any paint chips? Rock solid, Deno, rock solid. We just had a little tiny chip of something. I'll worry about that later. Not really a big concern, mate, I can fix anything. This guy, which I painted as the box art for Ouroboros Miniatures. It's called the Twins. This chick, Savage Beauty, also by Black Sun Miniatures, which I did just before I started streaming. She was the model I painted before I started streaming. This little guy, who's actually one of my favourites. One Old Barbarian Twins. Savage Beauty, Northern Wind. Oh yeah, cool. What a little champion he is. Look at him. What a little pog champ. Look at him go. Love him. Particularly like this little bit actually. Go team. We've got this Woman Barbarian Tribune that I showed off already, but him. We're doing him. I'm going to enter Finnar, which is the giveaway from last month. Follow him to the fire. Maddox, who I also painted on stream. Yeah, 20s is a flex, mate. Most people will be lucky to enter 5, probably. One other guy will probably enter a few, fair few. Maddox, beautiful. The old cheeky little Wind Rider, also painted on stream. And then we've got some gaming pieces, which is these 3. I'm going to enter these 3 when I finish them, so that I'll have to finish these next week actually. Better make sure I do that before I enter them. I've already submitted them. And then we've got 2 dioramas. And whilst I'm going to get pictures of the dioramas, because I'm not picking them up, here's a picture of my dog. Here is the first diorama. He came to stay with me last night. Here is the first diorama. that we're entering, and then here is the second diorama that we're also entering. 1, 2, 3, yeah. And we're also entering that one. So let me run down my list. Echoes of Camelot, Icewind Dale, Wizard of Oz, The Crusader, Wind Rider, Mad Axe, The Twins from Ouroboros, Old Barbarian, Miner, Avian the Forest Witch, Savage Beauty, Northern Wind. I'm going to enter my Dragon King from Kingdom Death. I'm going to enter some Survivors that I painted from Kingdom Death. I'm going to enter the Bloodborne from Cursed City. Then also Finar, the Roman Tribute, the Nurgle Underworlds team, Blood Temple, and then I've got one more piece to enter. Do you want to know the scary thing, mate? Like, because it got cancelled last year, I could have had 2 years worth of entries. This is the last 7 months, and not even everything I've painted, not even close to everything I've painted. I painted the whole of Cursed City. I've painted like another 10, 15 models. But last year that got cancelled, right? I was going to be entering Temple of the Elements, Apocalypse from Michael Contreras. I was going to enter Fairy Garden, and I had like 25 models that I painted last year. So if I kept all of my models and didn't send them to the new owners, I would have had something like 60 entries that I would have been happy to submit for this competition. So I'm not going to, obviously, enter 60 fucking models. I think last year I entered 14 maybe, or 13. So I feel like given that there was a entire year off, it's okay to enter a little, like, indulge myself and enter 20 pieces. But yeah, everything on there was painted this year except for the Forest Witch, which was painted at the very tail end of 2020. It's a bit silly, really, isn't it? Alright, I'm going to go put these all back in the cabinet so I don't drop them and break any more of the fuckers. Fucking idiot. I'll tell you what though, in the cabinet, those fucking models, the dioramas, they look so good. They look so mad, those dioramas, absolutely bonkers. And I'm okay with saying that because I've got tickets on myself. Look at this cool guy. Woo! I'm looking forward to sending all these models off actually to new people that own them because I'm running out of space in my cabinet. No chips on her and no chips on him, that's good. My cabinet is absolutely chock-a-block. So I think this one may have been the thing that chipped a little bit. Oh, I can't see anything. Just had a little bit of plant come off. Just got to glue this plant back on. It's karma, mate. It's karmic. Karmic feedback. Alright. I'm going to varnish this now because she feels all over the place. In terms of the... So yeah, QMHE next weekend. Fucking hell. Clumsy fuck today. And then the week after that is actually my first stream on Word Miniatures, which is cool. I know, mate, I know. Topolis, I'm so annoyed that you don't want to watch my King of Death streams, mate, and I'm so excited to talk about it. And you're just like, oh, I don't want to spoil anything for myself. Come on, mate, fuck ya. No, I understand. I was actually watching a number of videos when I was first playing the game, and anytime there was a monster that I hadn't fought yet, I also didn't watch it. I skipped past it because, yeah, finding out how a monster works, finding out all the cool things a monster does, finding out all the cool stuff you can get from the monster, is part of the joy of the game. Like, at this point in time, I've got 2 monsters that I haven't faced yet in the expansions, which is the Sunstalker and the Slender Man. Haven't ever fought either of them, and so each campaign I've added something new and interesting into the campaign, and it's made the experience better because there's that sense of discovery. Because I tell you this, when you know everything about what's happening in the game, like, and I won't give myself too much of a rap here. Oh yeah, shot him in the nuts. I won't give myself too much of a rap here, right? But there is a level of information that you gather after playing monsters and the game. You know optimal strategies, and so it becomes a meta choice where you're like, well, what do I do here when I know what the correct choice is? There's these elements of your settlement called principles, and there's four major principles that you have to decide upon every game. And one of the principles is called what happens when you have your first death. You have to decide what you do with your first corpse. And there's 2 choices. You can make a grave, and you can be like, hello, great person who used to be in our team. We love you. Or you can decide to cannibalize the body and get resources out of it. One of those 2 options is a significantly better choice in terms of what happens in game. I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but anytime you choose the other one after the first campaign where you're like, wow, you know, you're just obviously hamstringing yourself. Yeah, mate. Yeah, you actually cannibalise them. It's one of the choices. You can choose to cannibalise your dead. Mate, it's a harsh world, the old world of Kingdom Death. A lot of shit out there trying to kill you. One of the settlement events, which if you continue watching my campaign, you'll get to experience, is a settlement event called Murder, which is where you come home from a hunt after providing food for your settlement, and for some reason someone's just like, "Hey, fuck you, man," and they murder your best fucking dude. It's the worst. But one of the things, as I was saying before, is after a while, after you've played a few of these, or played at least one campaign, there's many things you can do to optimize situations from occurring, and part of the magic in the game is that first playthrough when you have no idea what you're doing and you're just making choices based on what seems cool. It's very hard to go back and experience that a second time. And the way that I've done it is by keeping expansion monsters completely hidden from me. So every time I get to an expansion monster that I haven't played, there's that sense of discovery, there's that excitement, because I don't know what's going to happen, I don't know what I'm going to do, don't know how to best handle things. Like one of the monsters, as an example from the expansion monsters, he has a really specific targeting condition, which when you don't know what that targeting condition is, you go in the first time, you're just like, yeah, this is what's going to happen, and he starts targeting someone completely different that you've never had be targeted before, and it just throws a massive curveball in terms of what you were expecting the fight to go like. That experience is very hard to very hard to capture. Yep. We learned the language innovation, we talk to each other. It's very good. So my next campaign, which I think I'll probably film as well, is going to include the last two models that I am yet to play against in the game of Kingdom Death. Slenderman and the Sunstalker, and there's actually several campaign variants as well that you can play, which I'm going to play with one of them, which is one of the reasons top why the Gambler's Chest is everyone is just so desperate for it to come out. It's because when you have all that information, like when you know everything about a specific fight or a specific encounter or a specific hunt event or a specific anything, it's hard to make the wrong choice, and as dumb as it sounds, it's the wrong choices in Kingdom Death that are the most exciting, because you never know what's going to happen. Yeah. that is also true, that I will very much enjoy painting. I've got an airbrush, mate. That's all you need. It's the best. Alright, let's zoom in so you can have a close look at what's going on here. I feel like this is coming out pretty nicely. Definitely just want to darken that up a bit. Now I've got a really important question, friends. Everyone in this chat, tell me that you've watched is the wrong word. Tell me that you've read a book series called the Dresden Files. Because oh my god, it's the fucking best. If you have not read the Dresden Files, just go and get it right now. I'm telling you. If you're watching my stream, then you're a type of person that will absolutely froth over the Dresden Files. Just get it done. I'm telling you, it is the fucking best show. It is very subtle for me. This whole palette, this whole experience is very subtle, which is fun. Oh mate, Topless, get in there, son. Get in there right now. It's the fucking best. Jim. I don't know. I'm enjoying trying to force myself to stick to less saturated. Are you kidding me, Robbie's Hobbies? Are you kidding me right now? Is that a real comment, or are you being a peanut? Oh. Quiff, you are in for the treat of all time. The Dresden Files is about a wizard who lives in modern day Chicago. And the premise of the story is that all of the supernatural things that we've read about and heard about exist in the world, and they are kept secret by a number of things. The first being the fact that as human beings, we don't want to believe that those things exist. Thanks, Tea Time with Taryn. And the second being that the supernatural forces of the world will agree to not break this rules of everyone just does their own thing, as long as they're not letting the humans in on what's going on. Mate, it's grim, but it's like the best. So there's currently 17 books in the series, and he's aiming for 23 books. Don't let that put you off though, because it's one book is about equivalent of, I don't know, you would need 3 Dresden Files books to have like one normal fantasy novel. So yeah, that's his aim, 23 books. I'm telling you, you'll not stop reading them until you finish them. It is the fucking best. So the first, and I won't spoil it, I absolutely would kill someone if they spoil Dresden Files for me, so I shan't spoil anything for you, but I'll give you a sort of a summary of why I think the book series is so awesome. So it starts off very small scale. Harry Dresden's the name of the protagonist, which is why it's called the Dresden Files. He starts off as just a private investigator. He's a wizard, and he belongs to an ancient wizards' council called the White Council. But the way that the White Council works is everyone just sort of leaves everyone alone to do their thing. So he's a private investigator in Chicago, and he has a thing in the yellow pages under wizard. So it's a very anachronistic, hilarious start to the series where you're just like, oh yeah, this guy's a wizard, cool. The first book is a little bit on the quiet side, like a little bit on the slow side. It's good, but it doesn't hold up a candle to some of the later ones. But basically what happens over the first few books is he establishes this world, whereas a supernatural thing alongside the real world, and the supernatural players are like vampire courts. Yeah, exactly right. Well, they're fucking awesome. There's vampire courts. The audio books are also phenomenal, by the way. They've got Spike from Buffy, who reads them. There's fairies, like fairy courts, fairy queens. But one of the best antagonists in the whole series is this. These characters that are based on Christian mythology. Again, I won't go into it because I don't want to spoil it for anyone. But those characters are literally the coolest. So I'm telling you, if you haven't read the Dresden Files, it will be like nothing you've read before. Well, maybe it will be like something you've read before, because I don't think it's like a fully unique idea, but it's so good. No, they're fucking awesome, man. They're not, the guy's he's not a teenage writer. He writes some heavy shit. He reminds me of David Gemmell. I don't know if you ever read any David Gemmell, but he manages to capture the essence of things in very small amount of words, but he still has really adult stuff that he goes for. Okay, I think, g'day Sleepy Slang. I think I'm reasonably happy with most of the stuff on this. What do we think about that? Yeah, I don't know too much about the guy as a human, but I like him as a writer. Well, I hope the YouTube vids are interesting to watch. Sometimes I think I get lost in my own little world and I don't talk enough. So what starts out as this very procedural, like private investigator novel series with wizard elements turns into a more traditional fantasy style book series, but then it morphs into its own thing as well because it continues to raise the stakes, it continues to elevate. Like the last two books were just fucking unbelievable. Yeah, sorry, Salty. I try to do this Sunday stream every week. It's Sunday for me because it's Saturday night for my American friends, just so that they can get on and watch live, assuming they want to. I'm sure most people don't. Thanks, buddy. It's very kind of you. Alright, what do I want to do on this? If anything, what else do I want to do? White OSL. This side just looks a bit too dark now. Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. Let's spend the night together from now until forever. Blue, blue. Oh yeah, I've got a little trick up my sleeve we're going to do very soon. So we are going to do some grassy bits here maybe on the base, just some little grass tufts. Yeah, I think we might actually put that on now. And I'm probably just going to use normal tufts. Yeah, these look good actually. Let's use these. Hey, here's a fun fact, friends. Oh yeah, man, he's a beast. And people were blowing up because the last two books took a long time. What I would suggest is if you really want to know what the series is like, start with book 3. He does that thing where he sort of pitches it, like he reviews everything that's happened in the past. Start at book 3. Book 3 is where the book series really just, boom, comes alive. So if you like book 3, go back and read 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are very similar in terms of the like the story beats. And my girlfriend read number 1 and then she read number 2 and she's like, it was like I read this exact same book. Not really. Anyway, always put your grass near the edges of things. The Dresden Files. The Dresden Files by Jim Butcher. Always put your grass near the cracks or the edges. Looks more correct. I like that. Normally I would go for some scale difference, but I don't think I will this time. I think I'm going to leave that as is. Just going to have the one scale of the grassy bits. All right. We're going to try and do a blood drip. Okay, so the way we're going to do a blood drip, I'm going to use this. It's a little bit of fibre optic cable. It's potentially a little bit too thick, but we shall try it anyway. You can also use a strand of your hair for this, believe it or not. A strand of your hair will work absolutely a-okay. No fade away. Alright, so we're going to use a little bit of super glue there. I'm just going to use my accelerant to make sure that dries. And then just get another little bit of super glue at the back there. So yeah, you can use a bit of hair for this. That works fine. And it's actually probably even a little bit better because it's very, very thin. But the advantage of this is that it's clear. That's a cool way of doing water droplets. It's an easy way of doing water droplets if you want. You can use that for that. But what we can do now is we can add this blood for the blood god over the top. And that will create a blood effect. But I think what we're going to do is actually, I might just varnish that all. Yep, stand by. I'm just going to go varnish this, friends. Hiya! I have returned. Oh yeah, you need to use the accelerant, otherwise it won't be good. So you can see the varnish actually dries that, stops it from looking glossy. Come here, you cheeky little paint pots. Come here. Vortex mixer doesn't work so well with thick blood for the blood god. Good to know. Now, what we desperately need on this piece is some blood spatter, and we're going to do it. We're going to do it. It was always my plan to do blood dripping from the blade. Alright, let's just do a practice run of this before I spray this over my model. Okay, so let's try. Sleepy slang's just like, that was my idea, mate, I'm taking it. You can't fucking say this was all your idea, Deno. Here we go, let's do it. I don't think we want to try it that way. Cool. It is acrylic, yep, it is acrylic. Yeah, one of the only problems with doing that airbrush blood spatter is it very rarely gets the scale right. It usually feels too small, like these feel a little bit too small. I mean, the piece is called Blood Temple, right? Going to add a little bit of black and a little bit of dark red to this mixture now, so we get a thicker, more coagulated looking blood. Art of Mike Disney, thank you for following, mate. I've rated you before, great man. Hope you're doing well. Thanks, mate. Mate, I was the organiser for the CanCon Crystal Dragon a few years ago. I also used to spend a fair bit of time in the War Machine, Guild Ball, even the AOS parts of the world. So yes, to answer your question, absolutely. It is really hard. It is really hard to make things look irregular. It's just because of the way that the brain works. You want to naturally balance things out. We like order. It is lovely to see me again, isn't it? Most people that frequent my stream would not feel the same way. They think I'm an absolute fuckwit. So, I'm glad you're here. That makes one of them. One of you at least that likes being here. Do we call it a day? This is my optimal angle. Like this. I like her jaw. It is more noticeable, yeah. It's because you're the one who's putting them on there. Obviously. Yeah, I'm calling it a day. I think we're done. G'day, Utabix. Bonjour. One Camelot spin coming up, mate. Would love to show Camelot off. Why not? It's been a while. I'm really excited I get to take that to Queensland Model Hobby Expo. Fuck, I hope we don't have another lockdown in the next 6 or 7 days. Because I really would like to present that at a show before I send it off. I feel like I haven't been able to finish this piece off as well as I started it. The Crusader, I shan't. Like I've definitely tried something new here, which is fantastic. And I need to challenge myself more so I can continue to grow and improve. But as I say very frequently on this stream, friends, it's all about having fun and having a good time, and not about not about becoming the world's best painter. That's not one of my goals right now. Maybe one day it will be, but not this day. Come on. This is what happens when you use super glue to attach your thing to the base, and the super glue runs in between the masking tape and the base plinth. You can see the super glue there. All right. Zoom out. You can have a look at the wide shot. I mean, from a technical perspective, I definitely think that the skin tone. It's hard to say because this lighting makes it look a little bit more desaturated. It's actually got a fair amount of colour and a fair amount of contrast, but I do think that, broadly speaking, I needed to include more contrast from here to here. I don't think there's quite enough contrast in the skin tone in general. But as you progress to the dark side of the Force, you do see a contrast between the skin. But that's the front-on angle, which gets you a fair sense of the light to dark contrast, I suppose. But I feel like this is the best angle because you then get to see all this warmth versus the cold there. These were significantly harder to paint than I expected them to be, actually. Those little booby things. I mean, overall, I think it's a successful paint job. I don't think it's in my top 5 of paint jobs that I've done. But I do think there's a lot of aspects of it that I tried that I'm really pleased with. Like the column was good. The column's probably my favourite bit, actually. Suction, mate. Suction cups. That's a good angle, actually. Except for the fact that her hair's not up against the column. Yeah, that angle looks like there's enough contrast in the skin. It's just this angle, everything looks very pallid. G'day, Gore the Frank. So that, I'm going to put her there. I might even take some photos of her and upload it to my Putty and Paint because she's probably good enough. Probably is good enough. Here's my Crusader. Let's go to the toilet, then we might do some assembly of Kingdom Death models. Back in 1 second. Am I on Putty and Paint? I'm on Putty and Paint. Got heaps of shit on there. No, I haven't taken a good photo of it. Calm down, Topolis. Calm down. It is Kingdom Death, actually. I'm holding in my hot little hands. Alright. We're going to do the A's. The A's have it. This is the last Echoes of Death I've got to do. And then I'm done on all of my narrative sculpts, which means I'm done on all of my survivor sculpts. I shan't be assembling armor kits. Well, narrative models, mate. I'll paint the shit out of narrative stuff. But all of the non-narrative stuff, it just looks so gooby. You're just like blub, 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 blub. A3 bit of paper. Oh, cool. Big head. Yes, for those who haven't seen, I've been playing a lot of Kingdom Death last couple of weeks. I'm back, invested in my Kingdom Death collection. So what happened was last year, during the middle of the pandemic, but after the main thrust of it, my good friend Sheldon and I started a Kingdom Death campaign. And I'd never played it. I was like, man, can you please teach me how to play Kingdom Death? Everyone talks about it. It's this crazy game, and I like the models, so maybe it's worth me having a look at Kingdom Death. And he's like, yeah, mate, come over. He's got everything in the first Kickstarter. All 12 expansions, all that stuff. So I rock up at his house one night and I play the first story with him, and then we play another one, and then we play another one, and then we play another one. We ended up playing 4 showdowns in the first night. And I was like, this is the greatest game invented in the history of mankind. Which is often something I do. I get very enthusiastic about things. So I went home that night and I was like, Deno, alright mate, here's the realities of the situation. You're not allowed to buy Kingdom Death. You're not allowed to try and find it. You're not allowed to try and buy it. You can't afford it. Stop what you're doing. So of course the next day I bought Kingdom Death. I bought everything. I bought the whole thing. I found a dude who, on my board games website that I frequent, he had everything, and ended up costing me, I think I've told this story before, the dude was like, yeah, I'll sell it to you for like just around what I paid for it. And I was like, yeah, cool, man. So it was going to be like $1,500. That was all of the expansions from the first Kickstarter, all 12, and then the core game and everything. And I was like, $1,500 seems like a pretty reasonable price, mate. Actually, no, I think it might have been more than that. How much did I pay? Might have been $2,000. I could go back and have a look, right? But it was a reasonable price for everything. And so, yeah, I think it was $2,000, $2,150. That's right, $2,150 ended up coming to. That's right, yeah. So, whatever the fuck it was, I went and picked it up from the dude, and I got there and it was all in order and it was all great. And he's like, "Oh man, I got all these other Kingdom Death models that I bought, like when I was thinking I was going to get into the game. Would you be interested in those?" And I had a look at them, and there's like fucking first runs and all this other shit in there. And I was like, "Oh, well, some of them look pretty cool, man. I'll probably paint them." He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll give them to you for like $150. And I said, "Okay, I'll take them all." And then the genuine, kind-hearted, good version of Deno and the evil, manipulative son of a bitch Deno were having go in my brain. The evil Deno was going, take him, run away, get him, run away. But good Deno won out, as he often has in my later years. And I said, "Hey man, just so you know, like you could probably get a lot more than $150 for these if you tried to sell them and stuff." And he said, "Yeah, this couldn't be fucked, mate." So I was like, "Good Dano, good work, mate. You've done the right thing and you're still going to fucking get rewarded for it. That's karma. That's great work, Dano." So I took them home, unloaded all my stuff, got super excited, and then I started to sell off the things that I didn't want to keep. And in the end, I sold off all of those extra first run things, everything else. And I ended up selling them for basically like $1,500 for all the stuff that he gave me. Like I made an absolute killing. And I think what ended up happening was my Kingdom Death collection ended up costing me like $400 to buy everything. So it was the greatest experience. And I then proceeded to sleeve everything. I made a box insert that I painted black and I sprayed it so it looked really cool. Sprayed some stuff on it, and then I made everything, so it was awesome. And then I played 5 campaigns. The first one was Sheldon, we kept going with, and I played 4 more after that by myself. And that doesn't include, like, I think I had a couple of first stories where I got absolutely axed, which technically counts as a campaign, so I don't count those. And there was one that I stopped at Lantern Year 4 or something because I don't remember why I stopped it. Something bad happened, and I was just like, well, that's it. I think we got a plague, which would have been done. I don't think there was any monsters in the first runs, no. So I played the absolute shit out of Kingdom Death for about 3 months. And that was in October last year, I reckon. So I got to the end of playing like 4 or 5 campaigns and I finally had all my models assembled and I was like, I'm going to paint these. So I started painting all my Kingdom Death models. And I was on holidays for a couple of weeks, and during my holidays I painted all of my Kingdom Death models. And Topulus was there, and people in the Kingdom Death Discord were losing their collective brains because, I don't know, most people that have got Kingdom Death have been painting that shit for a long time and still aren't finished. Big Deno knocks it over in 2 weeks. Calm down, Deno. Calm down, mate. I shan't calm down. So yes, so that is what happened. Unfortunately, and this is the funny thing, so I painted all the models, and I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, all my models are painted. And then I stopped playing, and I moved on to a new project. So I haven't actually painted. I hadn't actually played a campaign with my painted models. I used a few of them. Sheldon and I kept playing, so we finished our campaign. We made it all the way to the Gold Smoke night, and we ended up failing to kill him by 2 wounds in the end. He had 2 wounds left, and we ended up dying. We were very, very close. Very close. He's a hard fight. They are 32mm, but the scale of Games Workshop 32mm versus Kingdom Death 32mm is vastly different, and there's also a scale discrepancy over the models themselves. So, like the survivors from this what the fuck? Survivors from this box are significantly bigger than survivors in the core box. Yeah. Leg. Alright, let's get them boobies on. Doodles. That's a head. Doodles. They've made some interesting choices with their assembly though. Yeah, bad. That there seems to be a lot of bits that, like, why was this piece in 3 separate parts? G'day, Paul. Hey, Paul. Hey, Paul. Like, truly, this piece was put together in 3 separate parts. This little tabard bit, the boobies, and then this back piece. That could be one piece. I don't know why, but it's like he wants people to fucking be tortured when they're assembling their models. It's just they're really weird choices, but like this head's in 2 parts. Why? Why is this head in 2 parts? But the models themselves are awesome, so we just make do. Paul. Paul. It's almost like back in the day, because this game's old. This game's 2012 it first came out, and I reckon the dude had been designing it for years before that, or at least had ideas of it. Back in the day, Games Workshop's multi-part kits were the best. Everyone used to rave about them. They were awesome. No one raves about them anymore. Different faces don't line up though. Because people don't want to fuck around. Oh, this is from the ground. Cool. What is your favourite colour? Like this, maybe? Nah, everyone keeps raving about it, mate. I just use normal, traditional methods, mate. Like PVA glue. And milliput. You can get better control with those two things, I think. Personally, anyway. Alright, so this, where does this bit go? Oh, this is on the end. Yeah, cool. Oh, PVA glue is the best. The best for gap filling, I reckon. Hey, what's happening? Unexplained miniatures. How are you, my man? Beautiful specimen of a human being here. I don't remember how her head goes on. Definitely. Beer batter, chicken strips and coleslaw for dinner. How's a man like you, with the physique of a god that you've got, eat beer batter, chicken strips and coleslaw? So when I'm assembling models with plastic glue, every now and then I like to just throw in a little join with super glue because it helps everything be a lot more stable to allow the plastic glue time to dry. Fun tips. Fuck, I nailed that positioning, didn't I? Go, Deno. You're the man. Fuck yeah. This is a dumb posed fucking holding your bow. I do need a bow model though. Actually. For my campaign. That's cool. I like that. I like that. My body rocks a rhythm. You beat my drum hard. Gap filling with PVA, I've showed it heaps, mate. I've showed it heaps. I won't be able to do it on this model because I've got to wait for the plastic cement to dry. But, I wonder if I've got one here. I mean, yeah, like you just get a bit of PVA and you split it in the gap. Pretty easy. I did some there. That's PVA gap filled. You can even do it over a painted area too. Boom. Pew, 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 pew. Awesome. She's so great. Pew, 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 pew. With a Vespertine bow. Yep. That she is. Let's do one more. And we'll call it a day. Number B. Number B. Good one, Dino. One of your best. Fuck, you did. B. B for Bob. Alright, here we go. B's. B1. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? B1? I think I am. B2. Unexplained miniatures. Did you know that you've got a I can't remember the name of it. That fucking symbol. What's that symbol called at the start of all of your sentences? What's that symbol called? The two little dots. Someone tell him he's got dots at the start of his fucking thing. Colon, thank you. Thank you. I just wanted to get you to say colon, mate. Because I know you're always thinking about colon. Ooh, what is this chick wearing? Ooh. Ooh. Alright. One of the coolest things about these narrative models in Kingdom Death is that they're all wearing gear that's reflective of the game. Although these intestines aren't great. So for example, here is all of my Kingdom Death models that I would like to paint at some point. This chick is wielding a black sword and a beacon shield. And she's wearing vagabond armor, which you can make in the game. This guy is wearing a cloth and has a bone club. This is called a perfect slayer, or a dragon slayer, one of the two. And she's wearing other gear. This one's using a Sunstalker bow. Nick Jags. Hey, how's Stevie going? Saw your message before. This chick is wielding a bone axe. And so that's a leather shield, and then she's got certain greaves on. This chick's wielding two little bone daggers. This is what I might paint tomorrow, this chick. She's one of my favourites. This guy's wielding a Zenbato. The models are unreal. This is some of the 10th anniversary survivors. He's wielding a tempered spear and a new piece of equipment that I can't remember the name of. This guy's wielding... Oh man, Manly was so good, hey? This guy's wielding 2 tempered axes. Here's a cool story. So, this model and this model and this model and this model are 10th anniversary survivors. These are basically the 4 core survivors that came in the box set, the originals. This is like them 10 years on. So if you compare them, there's that chick and then this chick, the same faces, the same stuff, but they've just got better gear and instead of just wielding cloths. So that's, I really like that premise. So yeah, this is all my Kingdom Death models that I would like to paint before I get the Gambler's Chest, which is due a long time. Your core box will be shipping soon, won't it, Topless? Do I have any of the monsters? Yes. Let me give you a video. There you go. Black Friday is coming up again this year, and I'm at a point. Oh man, I can hold one of the survivors. So what I'll do, I'll grab a couple of survivors. I'll just use Septimus. Mate, Manly were unfucking believable last night. Absolutely unbelievable. I'm just going to grab my model standby. So yeah, so this is one of the scale creeps. So that's a Games Workshop model. This is one of the original Kingdom Death survivors. I think that's Lucy or something. From the original first story. Then this is one of the narrative sculpts. You know, it got put on upside down after it fell off, and many people commented how it was upside down, and so I've left it. For that very reason. So this is the narrative sculpts, the scale of them. They're a bit more on par with Games Workshop's scale these days. And this is like the backstabber, that chick, right? So the newer sculpts are very close, but the older sculpts, they look a little bit out of scale now. Cannibalizing does involve getting a lot of fucking beefcake. Where else is B? Here we go. B, to be or not to be. Oh, this is the harp chick. I don't like this model. I don't like this model. This is my least favourite of all of the Echoes sculpts. Because she's a bard. So this is a. I'm obviously talking a lot about Kingdom Death right now, so I'm sorry if you're not interested. But the whole premise of Kingdom Death is this world of really bleak and depressing stuff with a lot of body horror elements, and it's quite unnerving. But he's also got this thing where he makes models that are the Kingdom Death style, but they're not set in that world, set in that universe. And so all of those models that I'm putting together, those ones I just showed you, these are from his Echoes of Death series, which is where he's taken fantasy archetypes and made Kingdom Death versions of those fantasy archetypes. So this model's a bard set in the Kingdom Death world with Kingdom Death gear and Kingdom Death blah blah blah, but she's actually a bard, which is pretty cool when you think about it. The Kingdom Death world with fantasy, like there's a barbarian and there's a monk. Even though I fucking hate monks, it's actually a really cool model and appropriate because you can use it as a fist and tooth master. But anyway, so these models aren't really the traditional Kingdom Death style models, but they are traditionally awesome. So who gives a fuck? And then he's got fucking school ones from this fucking thing where it's called Death High, where he's got Kingdom Death models going to school, high school, and they've got all this weird high school gear. That one makes no sense to me. But doesn't need to make sense to me. As long as people like it and buy it, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. Oh yeah, there's a lot of collectors at Kingdom Death that just love the models. Yeah, because he absolutely markets it to appeal to collectors. The way that he markets those particular models, he does them in first runs where there's a limited number, and then he does encores where there's not a limited number but they're still hard to get. So like I think he only does 100 first runs of each model. So yeah, it absolutely appeals to those people. I'm actually lucky that I haven't been attracted to the models from the perspective other than playing the game, because there's a whole run of these fucking pin-ups. Like he's done pin-up versions. So there's all these monsters that you get in the game. Topless, if you're still around, post a picture of your pin-up Manhunter, will you? There's all these monsters in the game that you fight against. One of them's called the Manhunter, and then he's done fucking pin-up versions of them all. So it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Where does this bit go? Up here. Cool. Alright, I won't do that bit yet. on your top. So that's just like an example of one of the monsters, but it's a pin-up. And the Manhunter in the game is like, well, actually he's the Undertaker from the World Wrestling Federation, and it's fucking awesome. He's got a AI card called Tombstone, which is where he performs the Undertaker's move, Tombstone. It's fucking mad. It's so good. It's fucking so good. Tombstone. Good one, Top. You posted any other stuff that I haven't seen? Baby Kappa. Yeah, it came out okay. Cormac. Yes. Look at this just sitting here strumming her harp. What are all these fucking hands for? Let's go here. Have I pulled the wrong bit off? I do this all the time. I cut the wrong bits off. Come on, Darren. Come on, mate. I'm pretty sure I got all the right bits. Well, where the fuck do those bits go? Alright, well that one definitely goes on there like that. Great. Wetopolis, send me the link of where they gave you a spray, mate. I'll get in there and defend your son. I shan't be having it. Reddit mini painting can get fucked. I shan't be having it. Alright, but Necro's got no pull, mate. Alright? Oh, good night, Sleepy Slang. Big Dano's got some pull. Big Dano goes into a thread and goes, hey mate, you need to calm down. My mate Topulus is a legend. People listen to that, mate. Because I'm a famous mini painting celebrity. Alright? Exactly, I'm an influencer. Gregory knows what's up. Gregory knows. Oh, I see. These are all hand bits for the hand. I don't care about little hand bits. I don't want hand bits on there. Alright, this must be a shoulder pad for this side, is it? Is it? Where the fuck's this shoulder pad go thing? I'm fucking coming in. You did not hit 100,000 fucking Dano points, did you really? Fuck. Ah, Warhammer Daddy. Well, they're just idiots, mate. They're just idiots. 100k. Paul already is a VIP, look at him. He's been subscribed for 7 months. What a champion. Too good for this world, Paul. Well, I don't mean that as in you're going to die. Just mean you're too good for me to beat. Is this actually her arm? Is this her other arm? She also fucking holding a sword? She is. Cool. Miss Jaina, lucky number 7. Here we go, 7 months. Yeah, I reckon it is. Oh, that's right, she's holding it behind her back. There we go. Okay. I feel like, is this a helmet? I feel like I have no idea how to put the rest of this head together. Oh, here we go. Is it a helmet? I think it's a helmet. And blue, if I was green, I would die. I have a blue house with a blue window. I have a girlfriend and she is so blue. Stream's going alright, mate. It's been good fun. We're going to finish up soon. Needlessly difficult headpiece. This headpiece is in 3 pieces. Why? Why you do this to me, Pootsy? I will actually change my mind on this model. It is a great sculpt. I just don't like bards, really. Fucking bards. My mate Simon played a bard once in this fucking game. This D&D game we're playing. Fuck, it was terrible. Fucking bards. I can't really sledge anyone on that site, mate, because they weren't actually criticising your paint job. They were just criticising the fact that the model's a King and Death model. Well, it is what it is. The King of Death aesthetic doesn't really resonate with everyone. Are you trying to be funny, mate? Alright. That will do for today's stream. I don't care about these bits. These bits can fuck off. I don't care about those bits. Fuck off. I'll just cover that bit in sand. Here's what we did on today's stream, friends. Let's see how it looks in the final wash-up. I think it looks okay. I like how the blood effect has looked and dried. Power of Rick Astley. No, you aren't funny. That's true. We still like you though. Great. All right. It's been a wonderful day. I appreciate all of you. Let's all get excited for Party Monday tomorrow night, where I'm going to paint some Kingdom Death models. And then we'll start... G'day, TJ. And then we'll start talking about Queensland Model Hobby Expo, which is next weekend. So I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to stream Sunday morning next weekend. So this might be the last weekend stream for a couple of weekends. And I did say that I was going to take some time off after Queensland Model Hobby Expo, but I'll see how I'm feeling. I'll just see how I'm feeling. So, yep, Kingdom Death tomorrow night and Queensland Model Hobby Expo coming up this weekend. Nah, I won't be too hungover. Alright, let's find a great human that we can raid. One great, wonderful human. Oh, Kale's painting. I love her. She's just very happy. Sometimes we need some happiness in our lives, don't we? Jack of Clubs, painting Ghost Rider. Let's see. Any suggestions for people we haven't raided before, friends? Anyone that we haven't done that we could potentially have a raid on? Here's a dude, Groot from Australia, Sunday Chill Stream. See him. Painted Ogre. At this stage I'm leaning heavily towards 512p source. I'm sorry mate, I can't do it. 720p source. It just upsets me when people don't have a 1080p stream. I can't watch you painting toy soldiers if you don't have a 1080p stream, friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I need to get more of these. I just don't have the money at the moment.
Let's raid Kale. She's just great. Friends,
Now,
you're a champion. I look forward to seeing you all on Party Monday tomorrow night. Have a great weekend. You're the best.
I've heard some rumours that they're supposed to be doing that. And by all means, that's what they did with the last edition of Kill Team.
Oh my goodness, Big Dino! Welcome and thank you so much for that raid with all of the love, and welcome in raiders! How is everybody doing this evening? Big Dino, how was your stream? What were you guys working on? I want to hear everything. Ah yes, dropping down those emotes. Just as it should be. Necromancer, thank you so much for following. Alright everybody, just because we've got some new folks in here now, please remember I am shout out friendly. Anyone can do that command. It's !SO in that username. I like for all streamers to shout themselves out, and then if you're not a streamer, I want you shouting out your favorite streamer.